This is the Antigravity A1, a 360 APMP drone that anyone can fly, or the AI can fly for you. Okay, the drone is tracking me. Whoa. Where's this dog barking at? Oh no! Whoa! The truck almost hit the drone! Or hit me! Oh my god, the drone just avoid collision. Oh, again! Whoa! Avoid that as well! Oh my god, this AI is crazy! Just look at this beautiful sunset shot in full immersive 360. Capture with the A1 in 8K and render it in 8K 360 on my brand new Galaxy XR or Apple Vision Pro. Not cropped it, not reframed it, not fake 360 for Instagram stuff. This is the real thing. Toward my monopole, I don't have control. I mean, I'm not in FPV mode, I'm in freeform mode. Oh, look at that! It wants to go down, Ooh. Hit the ground a little bit. Now, let me be very clear. This is not one of those overhyped sponsored influencer video you have probably already seen 100 times. This video is about everything missing from the anti-gravity marketing. We are doing a side-by-side real-world image quality test against the Insta360 Sphere, the Insta360 X5, and the DJI Osmo 360, which, according to a current leak, is using the same 1-inch sensor as the upcoming DJI Avata 360. We will also discuss the lens flare problem, the stitching problem in 360, as you can see right here, my head just got cut off, directional drift problem in mid-flight, and even the propeller shadow problem that show up in your final footage if you are not careful. We are also covering something almost nobody talk about, one-shot HDR 360 photography in the air. This is a huge deal for virtual tour creators. And yeah, spoiler alert, it actually beat the X5 and the Osmo 360. If you already bought the A1, I've got you covered as well. We will cover the best video and photo setting, some AI-based auto-piloting mode, how to fly on a dragon, real-world flying tips for commercial realistic application, and how to safely hand catch this thing. Because there is a massive fisheye list at the bottom of the drone, and one bad landing is all it takes to ruin your day. This is the missing honest review from your trusted 360 nerd. So don't buy the Antigravity A1 until you see me catch kimchi. Hey, let's go trade kimchi. Drone vs kimchi. This is a over 30-minute in-depth review. It's packed with real-world information you probably haven't heard from any other influencer yet. We were building 360 drone rig long before Insta360 even exists. Back when there was no ecosystem, no workflow, no official tool, we were literally taping 6 to 9 GoPro together for early immersive project with Google. It was heavy, it was fragile, and it was ridiculous. And that's exactly how this entire industry was born. So this review doesn't come from hype, it comes from experience. To help you navigate everything easily, I have added time codes right here so you can jump to whatever session matters most to you. But if you are serious about getting into 360 drone work, it's worth watching this from start to finish. This is the stuff that will save you money, time, and painful mistakes. We are educators at heart, and my goal isn't just to show you what is new, it's to give you the knowledge to actually success as a 360 creator in the real world, not just on social media. Alright, let's start with the unboxing. This is the brand new Antigravity A1. Let's unbox it. Inside the box is just the back, right here. Let's open it. The actual case for the drone is very cool. It latch open like this. Wow. I kind of want to show you how small the drone is. So this is my iPhone. This is the drone. Look at that. Ooh, we go slowly. Ooh. The drone has 2 forward image sensors, 2 downward image sensors, 2 infrared sensors, and a landing light. There are no side or backward sensors, but the drone can only go forward, so you probably don't need them. And here is the landing gear. Make sure to extend them before you put the drone down. And this is the control grip right here. Really cool. Ooh, look at that. Very nice, very nice. This is the Vision Goggle, the coolest thing of the whole package in my opinion. On the left is the touchpad to control the drone like a controller. On the right is the high quality LED outer display. You can even customize the loading screen display right here in the menu. It has the pass-through camera right here. Right now, it only has black and white pass-through like the Oculus 2. You cannot use the pass-through when camera is in motion or in Sky Path mode or Sky Genie mode. But more on that later. It also has built-in 30GB internal storage and support micro SD card. This is the plastic protector cover to protect the beautiful pancake lens. The lens features plus 2D to minus 5D vision adjustment and manual IPD adjustment from 59 to 72mm. This is the battery charger. It supports USB fast charging and smart power pooling. Pressing and holding the function button here to activate it, the low power battery will transfer the remaining power to the highest capacity battery. So next, open the regular battery. Since we have it, we bought it. Right, let's open it. Let's actually compare to the one already in the drone. Yep. Definitely, they're the same size. They're the same size. But they are not the same weight. This is a lot lighter than this one. This is a lot lighter. This is the standard battery. You get the Explorer package or the standard package. This is the battery come with it. And that is the battery come with my package called Infinite package. I personally would not recommend to get the Infinite package for the extended battery because the battery is a lot heavier. And you put it on the drone, that would definitely not allow you to fly in lots of areas in US and Europe. So I recommend it to get the regular battery. Now I think it's the most important thing. Let's unbox this replaceable lens kit right here. This is probably the best packaging. This is definitely better than the Insta360 regular packaging. It tells you how to do the replaceable lens, but this is a lens kit. It's really much like the Insta360 X5. You can remove 2 lens card, clean cloth, glove, and brush. And the lens is right here for replace your lens if you crash. So look at the package. It does not come with any chargers, power brick. So you definitely need to get a 60-watt charger, actually 3 of them, to really charge everything. Finally, I highly recommend you to get the landing pad. We will teach you how to hand launch and hand catch your drone later in this video. But inside the menu, Antigravity has this unique feature to enable landing pad detection for precise landing using the downward image sensor. Landing is actually the hardest part of this entire flying experience, as the drone cannot go backward like the other DJI drone. Having the landing pad, you can just use the return to home feature or push down on the controller like so. As long as the drone can see the landing pad, it will correct landing route to land in the center of the landing path. This prevents accidental lens scratching on uneven ground. Very important. It does not come with the package, but please buy it. It is a lot cheaper than to buy an extra replaceable lens kit. And you're welcome. One thing that's kind of for advertising is the view of the Vision Goggle. A lot of YouTubers and even the official commercial make it look like you are getting a full 360-degree immersive view, like the Meta Quest, Samsung Galaxy XR right here, or the Apple Vision Pro. But no, that's not the case. this is actually much closer to something like the X-View or virtual XR glasses. There's only one micro OLED panel with about like 90 degrees field of view. Even in the so-called immersive view mode, the widest mode you can get on this thing, you are still basically looking through a magic window with black voids all around it. Yes, there's 3 degrees of freedom or head checking right here, so you can look around and see the full 360 environment, but calling this is an immersive headset or even call that mode immersive view, that is kinda misleading. As someone who wears XR headset all the time, when I heard immersive, I expect my entire view to be filled with the world, full 360, edge to edge, not a floating box with black space around it. So the best way to think about your view in this vision goggle is this. You are looking through a window and there are black bars all around it. 360 image quality. To us, image quality is everything. It doesn't matter if it's a 2D, 3D, 360, or in this case, a 360 camera drone. If the image quality is trash, then this is nothing more than an overpriced toy. You fly once or twice and never touch again. Now, luckily, the Antigravity A1 has arguably one of the best looking 360 camera ever built into a drone. And that is a strong statement, I know. So let me actually show you what I meant. This is a true side-by-side comparison right here, where I rate the A1 and the Insta360 Sphere vertically, so we are testing this as fairly as possible. These are all the cameras I regularly fly for my real-world 360 drone work. For the Insta360 X5 right here and the DJI Osmo 360, I mount them externally like this on a DJI drone. And the Sphere has been my invisible drone setup of choice for the past 3 years. So now, the real question is this. Can the Antigravity A1 actually replace my current setup? From left to right, we are looking at the Insta360 Sphere shooting at 5.7K 30 frames per second, the Antigravity A1 at 8K 30 frames per second, the Insta360 X5 at 8K 30 frames per second, and the DJI Osmo 360 also at 8K 30 frames per second. I don't think there is any real debate here. The Antigravity A1 is so much better than the Sphere. 8K is basically a must-have for any serious 360 camera today. I am confidently say that Antigravity A1 is better than the Sphere in every single way. If you own the Sphere and you love invisible 360 drone shot, the A1 is a must-have upgrade. Overall camera here are set to auto exposure at EV0. The A1 clearly prioritize a higher shutter speed, which give you a very sharp image, while the X5 has noticeable more motion blur. And in XR headset, motion blur is a bad thing. That's one of the big reasons why I think the Antigravity A1 is already better for XR use case. For aerial work, everything you shot is far away and constantly moving, so reducing motion blur is also a great way to increase overall sharpness. But it's not just about the sharpness. The A1 is also capture more real detail than the Insta360 X5. Even if you crank up the sharpness on the X5, it still doesn't look better. And you can clearly see that here. And I will even go one step further. I dare to say that Antigravity A1 is pulling more useful detail than the larger sensor DJI Osmo 360. The further the object gets, the bigger the differences become. The Osmo 360 tend to go a bit soft on distant object, while the A1 holds detail surprisingly well, even way out there in the distance. And that makes the A1 an absolute quality monster in the sky, especially since most of what you're looking at from the air is distant landscape. Now, yes, you can argue that the Osmo 360 still has slightly less noise and fewer compression artifacts thanks to the largest image sensor. And at this point, the image quality between the Antigravity A1 and the Osmo 360 becomes very subjective. I would say they are actually very closely matched and both clearly outperform the older Insta360 X5. And consider that the upcoming DJI Avata 360 is expected to use the same sensor and the same lens structure as the Osmo 360. We can already assume those two drones will be very close in pure image quality. At that point, the real deciding factor are probably going to be handling, weight, and AI power obstacle avoidance. But before we go there, let's talk about 60 frames per second because that's also really important mode for both VR viewing and for shooting sport and fast APMP content. And as you can see here, the result is very similar to what we just saw at 30 frames per second. The DJI Osmo 260 and the Antigravity A1 still have very similar image quality, and both are clearly a lot better than the Insta360 X5 and the Insta360 Sphere. In general though, if you really care about maximum image quality, I will personally always shoot at 8K 30 frames per second and use Topaz Video AI to bring it up to 60 or even 90 frames per second. But here's one more thing you really have to consider when it comes to 360 drone, and that is stitching. Look at this close-up shot right here where the Antigravity A1 is tracking me closely on the one wheel. Now, realistically, you will probably never going to film your subject this close with a 360 drone, but this shot is perfect for showing the biggest weakness of any two-lens 360 drone setup. If your main subject is at the same height as the drone, the head is probably going to get cut off no matter what AI stitching mode you use. And this doesn't just affect close-up shot, you can see it also affecting distance stitching right here. So don't think this is only a close range problem. I think we need a minimum 3 fisheye lens 360 setup to create enough overlap to probably solve this problem. But sadly, this exact same limitation is also coming to the DJI Avata 360 because it is also using a 2 fisheye lens design judging from the leak image. Now, this might not matter much if you are only reframing in 2D, but it matters a lot for true 8K 360 capture on XR devices like the Samsung Galaxy XR or the Apple Vision Pro. Because there is no reframe to height problem, we see everything. So if you are like me and you are primarily using this as a true 360 drone for XR, here's what actually helps. First, switch your mode here to cinematic mode, the seat mode in the grip controller. That reduces the tilt angle during flight and help keep the horizon level. Flying a bit higher when you can, keep the stitch line up in the sky and rely mostly on the middle part of your flight. Then you can cut out the acceleration or deceleration in post. If you do all that, you will be pretty good at hiding the stitching. But this does take practice. You really have to know your controller and how the drone behaves. Or you can just use the setup I'm using right here, a dedicated 360 camera like the Insta360 X5 or the DJI Osmo 260, carrying it by a regular DJI drone. We still use this setup today, even though now we have the Antigravity A1, because in a real immersive 360 production, it's not about chasing the newest toy. It's about knowing what you are capturing and how you are capturing it. Be a solution-based videographer, not someone who blindly follows the hype. Now, let's talk about another problem that almost no influencer or YouTuber actually have enough experience to tell you about. Lens flare and propeller shadows. Let's look at the flare behavior when you fly straight toward a bright light source. In this case, it's the sun. Right at the stitch line right here, where the two lens fisheye meet. You will see the very unique circular flare right here, almost like a half moon. That happened because fisheye stitching is bending what should be a straight line into a curve. It's not necessarily bad, but you do need to be aware of it, because some director or DPs absolutely hate this kind of unnatural look. Lens flare pollution has always been a known issue with a lot of Insta360 cameras, except for their Leica line. On high-end systems like the Canon dual fisheye lens or the Blackmagic Ursa Cine immersive camera, you get proper optical coating to reduce that welding flare, so you maintain clarity even when you aim straight into a strong light source like the sun. Welding flare reduces sharpness, but it can also be used creatively. Look at this shot right here. You can see how it actually helps masking noise in a very cinematic way. Even though the flare line isn't straight here and the welding flare is covering almost like 1/3 of the entire frame, the result looks beautiful, especially when you watch it inside Apple Vision Pro or on a Samsung Galaxy XR. Consider this is a characteristic of the Insta360 camera that you just need to understand and work around the limitation. There's one problem you absolutely want to avoid with the Antigravity A1 and really with any 360 drone, and that is propeller shadow. Let's take a look. Did you catch that flicker in the shadow? It gets even worse when it overlaps on top of the welding flare right here. And once that happens, it completely destroys your image. This is something you absolutely want to avoid. You will see this problem inside your vision goggle as well. So if you even notice flicker in your headset while your video signal is still very strong and stable, this is probably exactly what you are seeing. At that point, you have three options. Reposition your drone, replan your flying path, or just wait for a different time of the day when the sun is low enough that it's not casting a shadow directly on your propeller anymore. And this simple awareness alone can save your entire production. 360 photo. The Antigravity A1 actually has a ton of one-shot 360 photo mode built right in. You get 14 megapixel, 55 megapixel JPEG, full DNG, HDR, and even a bracketed AEB mode for high dynamic range capture. It might not work great in a very windy day, but what you are looking at right now is a one-shot HDR DNG, and it's beautiful. Yes, you can absolutely take multiple images with a regular drone and stitch everything into a one giant gigapixel panel in post, but for fast changing moment like a sunset right here, it's actually better to just capture everything in one simple shot. No stitching, no sky replacement, no mismatching cloud. And the sky is probably what you care about most in this moment anyway. So, how does this one-shot 360 photo quality compare to traditional 360 camera? Let's take a look. As you can clearly see right here, the 55 megapixel DNG from the Antigravity A1 is better than the Insta360 X5, and not just little, it's by a lot. The DJI Osmo 360 look bigger on paper because it's shooting in a 120 megapixel photo, basically double the resolution. But because it still doesn't support DNG, the actual image quality isn't as good as you see right here. There are more noise, more compression artifacts, and overall, it just simply looks like a scaled-up image, not a clear one. So, in the real-world use case, the Antigravity A1 is actually winning this round for 360 photography. Now, is it enough for true gigapixel sky panel? No, it is not. But it is good enough for 90% of the virtual tool platform out there for Facebook 360, and it's also an amazing way to capture VFX skybox for Blender, Unity, Unreal, or virtual production. Most gigapixel 360 panels don't even include the sky properly, and this fills the gap perfectly. And yes, you can sell those for a very good price. Virtual tool creators, don't sleep on this. Obstacle avoidance test. For a sub 250 grand consumer drone that let you look around while flying, I think obstacle avoidance and safety feature have to be absolutely perfect. There is zero room for error here, so we decided to do a pretty extreme test. We let the Antigravity A1 fly itself, track me on a one wheel, and perform an orbit shot at the same time, while I intentionally rode straight toward a tree and obstacle to try to make the AI crash, or at least make a serious mistake. Inside Deep Track, there's actually this secret option right here buried in Chinese. It basically means orbit tracking. You use a C1 button to draw a box on me to select me as a tracking subject. You can hold down C1 to decide how the A1 track the subject, then lower the drone down to almost my height and hit C1 to start tracking. At this point, the A1 is in fully autopilot, using its sensor and AI route calculation to figure out the flight path while performing a continuously orbit move around me. Right out the gate, the drone is already flying dangerously close to the metal fence. And let me tell you, watching this inside the vision goggle is absolutely terrifying. But as you see in the final result, the AI is insanely good. It figures out there is a tight gap between the tree and the wall, and it actually flies through it while maintaining the orbit. It's in the tree ahead and ducked down to avoid it. Here, it detects the truck coming up behind it and smartly maneuvers through the tight gap between me and the truck in movement. And it even see my tiny 360 camera right here on the monopod and find the paths between the stop sign and the camera at a high speed. I absolutely would not be able to pull this off manually in FPV, and I think many highly skilled FPV pilots wouldn't attempt this maneuver neither. The fact that it does all of this in full autopilot without stopping at speed is pretty insane. And here is a cherry on top. If you use any tracking mode, a new option called Subject View becomes available in post. Turn that on and the camera will automatically follow and keep the subject center as best as it can, with no fisheye distortion. If the drone temporarily lost perfect framing because it also busy avoiding obstacle, which always take priority, you can fine-tune everything afterward using the AI subject checking inside the software. Because we are capturing full 360 all the time, you can always reframe however you want. And the drone comes with a very accurate GPS data, so you get all this telemetry overlay for free in 3 different styles. It makes your video even more amazing. And Antigravity is building on top of the same powerful software foundation that Insta360 is famous for. So you are getting a mature, proven 360 ecosystem backed by years of real research and development. And that is a huge plus. Just like in the 360 Studio, Antigravity Studio is capable of editing both a reframe to the video for social media and full immersive 360 video for Samsung Galaxy XR, YouTube VR, Meta Quest, and Apple Vision Pro with APMP support by checking this box right here. We try so hard to crash it, but we just can't crash it. But in case you ever do though, the Antigravity A1 has a replaceable lens design, and I will be straight with you right here. I highly recommend buying at least one spare set as backup. At the end of the day, this is still an FPV drone, and crashing is part of the game, especially when you're flying in sport mode with obstacle avoidance turned off, pushing up to 36 miles per hour top speed. Things happen fast. And if you still doesn't feel like enough protection, well, you can also have the anti-gravity care backed by Insta360. This covers collision and crash, full drone loss or fly away, water damage, and even normal wear and tear. That is a real peace of mind. They have a US office here in Irvine, California, so if you need support, you are not dealing with China. You are talking to a real team here in the US. Real world battery test. So now we are outside doing a real world battery test on the Antigravity A1. It's hovered on top of me right now. We are testing the regular flight battery because most of you will use only this one. The high capacity battery requires you to have a Part 107 license to fly it, and also require you to have a remote ID. So most of you probably don't want to buy it. Even you have a license, lots of places wouldn't allow drone above 250 grand to even take off without a permit. So let's find out how long can this regular battery last. We are recording in 8K 30 frames per second because the whole point of flying a drone is to record the best quality footage. So no idea why Antigravity official website info about the battery duration is not in video recording mode. Also, we are hovering, which will take more battery than flying. You hover a lot when you fly this drone because you get VR sickness if you are new to FPV goggle. So taking a break and hovering is very common. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing the brand new Samsung Galaxy XR headset. If you are wondering, this allows me to also see footage of the Antigravity A1 after capturing. More on that later in the tutorial. Okay, let's see how long this battery can last. Hovering right there. Okay, the drone, actually, I just saw an auto message, like say drone will return, force return in 1 minute. So in battery lower than 20%, the drone security trigger, okay, say remaining power is only sufficient to return to the returning point. The drone will automatically return, press C2 button to cancel. So now the drone is forcing you to, oh, look at that, forcing you to go down. Go down. Is it going down? Oh, unsafe landing environment detect 5 safe information. Why is unsafe? I don't know. Probably not gonna land it on. So 40% right there. I might just hand land it. I think it's fine. I think landing is fine, but I want to see like. Oh, force it go land a little bit. Nope, it doesn't want to land. Well, let's see. Like, I'm pretty sure right now is. Let me just get this much out of it. Woo, it's going to the not good. I don't want it going to my. Oh shit! It shifted to my monopole. It's really not good, right? This is an extreme test right there, right? It's very close to my monopole. Oh wow, look at that! It's doing its own thing. I'm not in control right now. See, my hand did not move. It's doing this weird thing because it's out of battery, and you can't find a safe point to land, and it's in 8% battery. I think it will just fall out of the sky. I mean, it's not that high sky. Hopefully, it's not scratch my lens, but it will fall. At least right now, I don't think propeller will hit the monopole. That is a very risky move. I hope I capture everything right now. If I do not capture everything, that will be a bad thing. But this is pretty intense, right? So the battery is screaming at me. I'm pretty sure right now it's only 5% left on the battery. The drone is not listening to me because it kind of confused. It's getting dark. The sky is getting dark, right? It's getting cool, getting dark. It's a little bit wind right here. The drone is drifting toward my monopole. I don't have control. I mean, I'm not in FPV. I'm not in FPV mode. I'm in freeform mode. Oh, look at that! Look at that! It forced to go down. It forced to go down. Ooh. Hit the ground a little bit. See what's going on right here. 5%. Okay, 5% battery. It just forced me to go down, and even it cannot detect like anything safe on the ground. It's still gotta go down because it's actually off the mat. You see that the propeller actually hit some grass, and it's kind of land on the ground. Bad in a really bad way. I'm so glad it did not hit my monopole right there. Here you go. Like. The drone will force you to go down in 5% of battery. No matter what, it's forced to go down. Even if it did not detect a safety landing point, it just go down. If you're like below 5%, you screw. The drone will go down no matter what you do. And if it's not a safe environment, you just go down to the ocean or go down to somewhere else with each other lens, right? So you cannot let this happen. You have to land it ASAP. Before 10% battery. This is for safety concerns. So you don't lose your drone, so scratch your lens, and you get your drone safely. Just hand grab it. If that's the case, like 10%. See, I lost completely. I don't have actually the drone just died. I lose still right now. See, it's everything just like, turned into gray. So just to recap, if you're filming in 8K 360, the regular flight battery on the Antigravity A1 will realistically give you about 18 minutes of usable footage, not 23 minutes that is advertised. And we test this with a brand new battery right here. So yeah, once the battery age, the number is only going to go down from here. Please plan your flight time accordingly. In the FPV world, 5 minutes is a long time. That is the difference between landing safely and watching your drone fall out of the sky. Pass-through mode and potential safety problem. Just like most modern VR headset, the anti-gravity vision goggle has a pass-through mode for pilot safety. Now, one very important legal reminder. Under FAA rule, even if your drone is under 250 grand, you are still required to maintain visual line of sight with the aircraft at all time. FPV goggle, as high-tech as the vision goggle look by themselves, do not satisfy the requirement. If you want to fly in vision goggle legally, you must have a dedicated visual observer next to you, in direct communication with you, keeping eye on the drone in the entire time. So never pilot the Antigravity A1 by yourself in goggle and assuming the weight make it legal. It does not. You still need a spoiler. A quick double tap right here on the side enable pass-through mode in black and white. For what we heard, full color RGB pass-through is likely coming in the future firmware update. And for right now, you also cannot enable pass-through mode while the drone is in motion, even in Sky Genie or other intelligent autopiloting mode. But we also found another issue with enabling and disabling pass-through that you really need to be aware of. Let's take a look together. I got double click here to turn on pass-through mode. Make sure I still see the drone. Okay, great. I'm wondering if I just turn back. Oh, no, it's still... As you can see, the nose of the drone is not pointing in the same direction as the grid controller anymore. That means what you think the drone is going is not actually where the drone is going, and that is extremely dangerous, especially if you are in sport mode with obstacle avoidance turned off. So for now, my recommendation is simple. Do not enable pass-through mode while your drone is flying. That is your co-pilot's job. They exist to keep you safe in the real world while you are inside the AR goggle. Now we are gonna do a wind resistant test with the Antigravity A1. What I have here is a powerful leaf blower. This can produce 130 mph wind speed. This thing is ready for 40 kmh according to Insta360 or Antigravity official website. So this is way more. So let's see if this anti-gravity can actually survive inside a hurricane speed, wind speed. Let's find out. Okay, I'll step a little bit, turn this thing on, and get a drone pointing at me. I want to see how crazy that wind is. Like, look at the grass in there. It's pretty intense. Pretty intense. Pretty intense. That mat is flying right there. See it? So pretty intense hurricane. That's definitely a hurricane. A lot of things fly away. So let's see. Woo! Okay, the drone is shaking like crazy. We struggle to keep it level, but pretty level, right? Okay, let's get closer. Should we get closer, guys? I think we should go closer. Comment below if you want me to get closer. Okay, fuck it, let's get closer. It's hurricane! Hurricane's coming! Whoa! You're holding it! You're holding it pretty well, guys, look at that! The Antigravity A1 is a pretty powerful drone! It's going up! It's going up a little bit! But it is holding it! I mean, move it down. That is pretty impressive to like keep it on this kind of wind speed. Intelligent flight mode. Alright, now let's switch gear and actually talk about how to fly this thing. There are already tons of review and tutorial out there talking about the unique free motion control mode. This is not a sponsored review, so I'm not here to sell you on that. It's simply a different way to pilot an FPV drone. You might love it or you might still prefer traditional FPV controller. And that really comes down to your personal flying style. Move it. Drop it twice. I know a lot of people, including myself, complain about the lack of regular FPV controller with joystick at first. But after flying this a few times and build some confidence, I actually end up prefer the grid controller. It's extremely easy to travel with as long as you lock your wrist like this and keep the pointer center on the crosshair, you can get very smooth fly. In the latest firmware, they also finally listened to the community and add a pilot view window where you are not looking in the direction the drone is flying. It looks small here on the screen, but inside the vision goggle is actually quite large and very usable. I use it all the time now. That said, I do disagree with their marketing logic here. The job of a pilot is to fly the drone, not to look around and enjoy the view. But the Immersive 360 view does help a lot with quick safety check. I constantly look down to make sure I'm not flying over people. And it turned out this is actually a pretty great way to stay compliant. There's one advantage in flying in FPV mode though, and that is that newly added virtual cockpit AR flying feature. Yes, it's very gimmicky, but also kind of cool for social media. It literally feels like you are flying on the back of a dragon, like in Game of Thrones, and it reacts to your gyro and the tilt as you are turning in FPV. It looks very realistic. Now, I do wish they could turn that 2D dragon into a final 360 footage and give us that real AR output, but unfortunately, we are not there yet. The dragon does not show up in your final footage. For now, it's just a visual gimmick. To really sell the immersive flight concept, they also introduced a very useful feature called Sky Path. This lets you build a flight path using waypoints by pressing the C1 button. You save that path and then let the AI execute the exact same flight over and over again. Basically, a motion control system in the sky. You can use this in two powerful ways. For 360 VFX, you can capture the same scene repeatedly and composite the shot to clone the subject or build complex VFX paths. Just like a motion control slider, but flying. For commercial realistic, the agent can pre-program a flight path, hand the vision goggle to the potential buyer, and let them experience their future house from the sky like a private helicopter tour. That's fantastic sell too, and it let you close the deal on the spot without needing to ship someone a MetaQuest, which is expensive and impractical. I think we are going to see a lot of realistic companies start buying this Antigravity A1 to stay competitive. And if your company does that, just remember, you still need to pass the free recreational UAS safety test, also known as trust, and carry your proof of completion. And if you get this business idea from us, yeah, do consider using our affiliate link to support this channel a little bit. Our job is to give you the idea so you can be successful. Our knowledge is always free, but support is always appreciated. Besides flight path, there are two other major intelligent flying modes, Sky Genie and Deep Track. Let's test this out together. Inside Sky Genie, there are currently 5 intelligent flying modes: Orbit, Anti-Gravity Line, Fly Away, Ascend, and Spiral Ascend. By the way, Fly Away is a terrible name. I never want my drone to fly away. Let's try the Orbit first. I'm warning you right here though. You will get motion sickness immediately inside the vision goggle if you are not careful. So use this with caution. We hold down the C1 to draw a box around the tower here, and a duty queue will appear. Press C1 again, then the orbit will start. The view suddenly locks and showing you exactly what the final tracking video will look like. The tracking is rock solid, and the overhead display that shows you where the drone is heading is a great touch. You can stop tracking and break out immediately if you notice any obstacle ahead. Now let's try Spiral Ascend. The final result looked very cool, but yes, it kind of also made me very motion sick. And here is the anti-gravity line. This is basically a pan down followed by a flip. All these modes are great if you are capturing 2D social media reframed video, but they are a terrible idea if you are capturing for Immersive 360 in VR. All this turning movement will absolutely make your viewer vomit, and it also makes the pilot dizzy. So always make sure you have a spotter when using Sky Genie. If you get disoriented and fell off the cliff, that's not a joke. It literally happened to FPV pilot. Safety first. Fly Away and Ascend, on the other hand, are actually very usable. These are probably the only 2 Sky Genie modes I would realistically use on a real production. And finally, let's talk about Deep Track. It has 2 modes: Auto Tracking, which is probably the most practical and most useful mode, and Orbit Tracking, which we already demoed in the obstacle avoidance test. Both modes are extremely solid, and they really show how powerful the sensor and the intelligent flying system on this little thing right here. Okay, now let me teach you how to hand launch and hand catch the Antigravity A1. First, make sure that the landing gear is actually extend right there, and grab your hand. You see right here, it's a little nudge right here. After landing gear, get out. Just put your hand right here. Keep the drone as level as possible, level to the horizon, right? You can put it a little bit lower too, level to the horizon. And then right here, just double tap, turn on the propeller, and then one more push up. Don't grab it. Let the drone like landing on your finger right there. Just like landing, like touching it, like holding it. And then just, if you hit up, it'll just fly up. Don't grab it though, right? So now, let me teach you how to land this thing. Again, hold your hand out as sturdy as possible. With that, if you hold it as sturdy as possible, You see it right there, right? When I hold my hand as steady as possible, right? The sensor thought my hand is the landing ground. And then if you keep pushing down right here, just keep pushing down, and then it will say landing. The thing will come out. When you see the thing come out, make sure your hand is super sturdy, super stable. You will just land straight to the jaw. Again, don't grab it. Just make it like touch your hand, and then propeller stop, and then the thing will just like land. The weight will just land on your hand, and then just grab it like there. No, wait, actually don't grab it. Just like let it land. It's that easy. Like, I'll show you again. It's a home point updated. You will hear it. And then just grab it. You gotta be super stable. Look at that. Super stable. You say landing, and just land on your hand. It's that easy. You can do it too. I think the real advantage of the Antigravity A1 is none of the stuff most influencers on the internet are talking about. Let's be real. You can already make better and higher quality reframe TikTok or Instagram video with a regular drone, or even just a long selfie stick. The AR flying gimmick, the tiny planet, the cyberpunk looking goggle right here, all of that hype will die down fast, and most of those drones will end up collecting dust. But that's not where this drone is truly shine. The real power of Antigravity A1 is for immersive creator. People who want to create full immersive 360 flying experience for devices like Meta Quest, Samsung Galaxy XR, and Apple Vision Pro. This is where it becomes transformative. You can use this for commercial realistic, for travel and sustainable tourism like what we do, for VR and AR game, for storytelling that actually make people feel like they are there, flying like Superman. These are applications that only the Antigravity and the upcoming DJI Avata 360 can truly do well. And because Antigravity comes from Insta360, you get something important right here. Direct APMP export for Apple Vision Pro. You just check this box right here on export, and suddenly you can relive the aerial spatial memory over and over again. Or share it with friends and family who also own the Apple Vision Pro. Or like us, publish those experiences on our own app spatial film right here and give the world something to make people just go, wow. For Android XR user, like the new Samsung Galaxy XR headset, you simply export regular 360 video using a USB-C cable or Google Drive to silo the MP4 file into your headset. Open in the Samsung Gallery app that comes free with the device, tap full screen, tap the 2D icon right here, select 360, and now you are inside a fully immersive 360 world. And soon, Android XR will even allow you to turn regular 360 video into 3D spatial experience with AI. That future is coming fast. And if you don't have an Apple Vision Pro, Meta Quest, or Galaxy XR, don't worry. The Antigravity Vision goggle right here are an XR headset. You got a 2560 by 2560 pixel micro OLED panel, and you can simply load any 360 video, photo, and even standard 2D and 3D movie onto an SD card and play them back directly. No computer, no stitching, no conversion. You don't get full immersive edge-to-edge 360 like the Vision Pro, but you do get 3-dot head tracking, which means you can watch 360 video through a crystal clear magic window at an insanely high resolution. It even playback raw INSV file directly from Insta360 camera like the X5 or X4 Air without stitching. In full uncompressed quality, that alone make it one of the best on-set daily review tool for 360 production. Is it a full XR headset like the Galaxy XR? No, but it is an incredible entry point into immersive entertainment. And to really prove why 360 video is the future of entertainment, I'm giving you a free 360 experience to download right now and watch on your Antigravity Vision goggle right here. It's a Blue Angel Fly recapture for CBS. If you have ever wanted to know what it feels like to fly with the Blue Angel, this is your chance. Download it for free, put on your Vision goggle, and experiencing it for real. And that is why I hope you use your Antigravity A1 for more than just gimmicky social media trends. Think outside of the box, create experiences, not clips. Be the pioneer, not followers of the next pointless trend. And if that way of thinking really resonates with you, if you believe immersive storytelling actually matters, then you belong here with us. Subscribe to the channel, support what we do, help us keep this industry artist-driven, not hype-driven. Alright, we covered a lot in this review, but there's still a lot more I want to share once we have pushed the Antigravity A1 through 2 real production and gathering even more true hands-on experience. And that is where the next level practical tips is really going to come from. I'm also doing my best to get my hands on the competition. If I'm lucky, expect another honest comparison coming soon. If you want to know the general spec and my first impression on the Antigravity A1, check out this video right here. And if you want to explore other 360 drone alternative, check out this one right here. We have got a lot more adventure coming, and I can't wait to take you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao.